first, honey, I sold the kids. You would think that with all Lindsay Lohan has been through, it might be a good idea for her mother to shield Lindsay's kid sister Allie from the madness of the limelight. You would think. But tonight, Showbiz Tonight can tell you that not only is Lindsay's mom putting her sister out there in a reality TV show about their life, she's not alone. And if you're thinking, hey, it's outrageous for the moms to do this, I can also tell you that you are not alone. Mother knows best. The mother-daughter story everyone was talking about. Starring Dina Lohan as the mother/manager of a famous daughter who struggled under the pressures of fame and is trying to rescue a blown movie career that's now on life support. All while Dina fought charges that she's a fame-seeking stage mom.
She's the Hollywood Madam of Mothers.
Now, Dina Lohan is bringing us a sequel where she tries to bring fame to her other daughter. And this time, America gets to watch it all on TV. Call it Mother Knows Best 2. This time it's financial with a much younger co-star, her 14-year-old daughter Allie. People are reacting strongly.
I am sick to my stomach.
E! Entertainment Television is planning a new reality show about Dina's attempts to make Allie famous like her sister, without all that other bad stuff.
She was charged for driving under the influence and for possession of the cocaine.
Showbiz Tonight can tell you the Dina and Allie show caps a disturbing trend we've been noticing lately. Semi-famous moms putting their young children, some of them barely out of diapers, in reality shows designed to boost mom's fame.
It's quite unconscionable to have children in this situation so that the parents can get some fame.
Showbiz Tonight asks, could this reality trend be really damaging? Dina is not the only mom bringing young kids to reality land. Kimora Lee Simmons' reality show Life in the Fab Lane prominently features her 7- and 5-year-old daughters. And Denise Richards is planning a reality show featuring her daughters who are only 2 and 3 years old.
I think that Denise is using these kids as a pawn for either content or fodder for people to talk about because her life really isn't that interesting.
It all got Richards' ex, Charlie Sheen, so angry he went to court to try to get a judge to stop the show. It didn't work. And now Charlie has called for a boycott of his ex's TV series. This got Denise angry. In a statement to In Touch Weekly confirmed by Showbiz Tonight, Denise says, quote, "This court battle wasn't about our girls on the show. It was him battling me. He wasn't trying to protect the kids at all."
These poor children have been through divorce, they've been through trauma, emotional instability, and now to put them in this situation is unfair.
Psychologist Lillian Glass tells Showbiz Tonight that whether they are Denise Richards' kids, Kimora Lee Simmons' kids, or Dina Lohan's kids, putting young children in reality shows is a bad idea.
I think parents that subject their children to this really need to take a good look at themselves because it's about them. It's about their own narcissism. This may have disastrous results down the road.
And if, like some predict, growing up in front of the cameras does cause problems for these kids later on, what the heck? Someone might be able to make a reality show out of it. All right, doesn't mommy also know this? Celebrity kids already have the potential to become messed up, so why aggravate the situation? Joining me tonight from Hollywood, investigative journalist Pat LaLama, and here in New York, contributing editor of Cookie Magazine, Robbie Ludwig. Robbie, Pat, thank you for joining us. And Pat, I want to begin with you. Is doing this irresponsible or just plain stupid or both?
Here's the thing, Brooke. Let me put it to you this way. You said, honey, I sold the kids. How about, honey, I sold the kids and sold my soul to the devil? It's all about how it's approached. You can have responsible ways of having your children involved in television. I mean, come on, there's child actors who come out just fine in life. But the motivation, and you spoke to this in the earlier piece, the motivation is for the parents. These are B-level, C-level human beings in the Hollywood echelon who so desperately need fame and fortune. Why not use the kids? That's where it's going to get dangerous.
Oh, it does sound dangerous. Doesn't it sound like responsible parenting at all? Robbie, what do you think about it? Bad move by the likes of Dina Lohan and Denise Richards?
Well, I think it certainly can be, and I'm in total agreement with Pat. When you use your kids as an accessory, that's when it can get dangerous for the children, because you're not really putting the children first. You're putting yourself first. And if the kids feel that on some level, that's when kids can get messed up, when they feel like, hey, when is it ever about me? Why does it always have to be about mom or pleasing mom? And what we know about reality television is they look for conflict, and they almost make caricatures out of the people that they are viewing. So that's when the danger can happen. Do you really want to subject your children to something that we really don't know that much about yet?
Yeah, you don't want to use your kids, and you don't want your kids to think that they are being used in any way, shape, or form. And here's what a lot of people don't get. Dina Lohan, of all people, knows the trouble Lindsay has gotten herself into because of the pressures of Hollywood at a young age. Rehab, a jail stint, all before age 21. Pat, why do you think Dina may think this is okay? She's got to justify it to herself in some way.
Well, you can do one of two analogies. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, or the fish that stinks from the head. The point of the matter is, I'm going to go out and say it. These children get into trouble because they haven't had the proper parenting behind them. And notice the kinds of families that these executives in TV land decide to feature. People who are potential train wrecks or are train wrecks now. I mean, the whole idea behind the Lohans is, A, because mom is hot. You think if she was not an attractive woman, Dina Lohan would get her own show. No, she's hot. She's desperate for attention. Lindsay's in trouble. The younger child, at least if in their mind, that the series will last long enough for Allie to get into rehab too, and gee, that it can go a few extra seasons. This is all very insidious. This is not about people sitting around the boardroom going, what can we do to promote families in America with television? And I'm not saying that has to be their #1 responsibility all the time, but there's something quite insidious about picking families that you know are headed for disaster.
Yeah, it's extremely worrisome. And as we just mentioned, Denise Richards' children are 2 and 3 years old.
Yeah.
And those kids were also at the center of a bitter and public divorce battle.
Right.
Robbie, is there anything about them being on a reality show like this that can possibly be beneficial for them?
Maybe if it creates a bonding moment with their parents, if somehow they discover that they really like being in front of the camera and it's fun for them. Really what's important here is that there isn't any pressure put on these kids and that they don't get burnt out prematurely. But I think this is really about Denise Richards trying to rebrand herself as being a good single parent, and again using her kids to say, look, I'm really not as bad as the tabloids suggested I am.
Robbie, let me just interject. This is the same woman who publicly made allegations that her ex, Charlie Sheen, was involved in internet porn. I mean, what kind of people are we talking about here?
We are talking about, a very narcissistic, exhibitionistic type of group of people where basically they need everybody to see who they are in order to feel that they exist. And the problem is sometimes the judgment is not always so good. It's very impulsive, and it's look at me, and I don't care what you're really looking at me for.
But Robbie, without the TV executives who believe that there is an audience in this, it would never happen.
Agreed.
And somebody out there is watching it, or they wouldn't make it, and that's a whole other subject for a whole other show.
Right, it's our voyeurism. We like to look at what's bizarre.
Certainly, we will continue this conversation. It is very troublesome, and I want to mention those allegations Denise made. Charlie Sheen has denied them. Pat Lalama, Robbie Ludwig, thank you both.